Welcome guys, I'm Harry, Jay's not here, and today, as you can see by the title of this video, we are getting our boiler fitted. Now if you don't know the story, make sure you go back and follow our journey. We managed to get the keys to this house in February and we got the boiler taken out in March, right? Today is what is the date today? The 14th of June, I want to say. So it's been quite a few months and today is the boiler fitting day. We had a box sitting just here which has gone. We have plastic all the way up the stairs because they are halfway through the job and they are coming back again tomorrow to finish it off. The radiator that is going to go in this gap is here sitting in the box. I think you might have seen this before. It's been sat here quite a while now, but let me just take you upstairs and show you basically what they've done so far. So this carpet is looking dodgy because they had to put pipes through the floor. I'll show you everything downstairs in just a second. But this had to come up because there's a little hatch here where they had to put the gas pipes down to the down below. So I'll show you that in just a second. But there is our brand new boiler. Let me just turn this light on. Bosh, I mean, that hasn't done much, but there you go. So the flute is in as well because in case it just suddenly decides to rain, it keeps it all waterproof as well. So there's all the piping. This is obviously some of his tools as well that he's left here for tomorrow. But this is our combi boiler. So we have water that is still cold at the minute because obviously the boiler's not on. But we have water that comes out when you turn all the taps to hot, which is brilliant. So yeah, basically that's what that looks like. And let me take you all the way back downstairs. Because in here is where the magic happens. So basically we took cupboards off the wall here because they were going to put pipes from the landing under this ceiling where that little gap is, and it was going to go through and into the wall here and into the gas meters which are sat here. So instead they've managed to fit it under the stairs straight down and into the gas meter there. So that is just perfect. The only downside is, which is another video which will be coming up, I'm going to tell you the whole story from start to finish, all about the problems that we have had with EDF Energy. British Gas have been brilliant. They have been flawless. They were a little bit cheeky with the actual installation and basically how it all went down. We had a little bit of a delay. Long story short, it's been far too long and it shouldn't have been. Both companies, EDF and British Gas, have been a little bit crappy, but EDF outdoes British Gas by a long way. I'll explain that one in just a second. So basically, I don't want to get anyone into trouble. I don't want to cause any trouble. I just kind of want to explain it ever so slightly. I tell you what, I'm even going to stand you on the table so I can have a little chat. Right, so I don't want to get anybody into any trouble, but I just want to kind of explain why it's taken this long to finally get our boiler fitted. So basically, back in March, we had the boiler taken out. It was a really old, crappy boiler. Like, it was so old you had to put coal into it just to get it to operate. That's not actually true. But it was old, it was ancient, it had to go. So we instantly contacted someone that would fit a combi boiler, so we hit up British Gas. They would come fit a combi boiler, 5 years, interest-free for £6,000. Completely fine with us, so we went with that. British Gas came round and they brought round, and we wanted, so it was £6,000 in the whole package, because we wanted a new radiator, we wanted the hive system, and it was basically, all in total, it was £6,000 for the lot, which is fine. So the people came round to get rid of the old boiler, and basically when they got up there, they'd found out that the whole water tank had fallen on its side and crashed through the ceiling in the main bedroom. And underneath the tank, there was blocks of asbestos. And obviously we didn't know that, and obviously they didn't know that until they had removed the cold water tanks. And they got up there, found these blocks of asbestos, and because they had discovered them and it wasn't us that told them that the asbestos was there, they said they will get rid of it free of charge. However, we would like to ask you to pay a £1,500 contribution, but you don't have to. So we said, why would anybody pay £1,500 when you're going to do a job for free? So that's exactly what we did. We said, we're not paying anything. If you're going to do it for free, we're not going to contribute £1,500. And it is a standard charge as well. And I'm going to use this as a prop. We're talking, it was smaller than this, right? This little bit of asbestos. If we'd have known it was there, we could have got rid of it ourselves. Not a problem whatsoever. We didn't have a clue this asbestos was there. So it was kind of like, it was £1,500 for something we didn't even know was even there. And so once we had taken the asbestos out, we had to then contact somebody as part of British Gas, maybe a month and a half later, to sort of going, look, what's going on? We've had no contact, no one's said anything, someone's got to come and get rid of this asbestos so we can get the installation rolling. Months and months and months of asking, like 3 months maybe of just solid asking every week, what is going on? We're trying to contact somebody called Neil. No idea who Neil is. We didn't have a surname. We didn't have a company name. We didn't have a telephone. We didn't have an email address. We had nothing. All we had was this guy called Neil was going to come and get rid of this asbestos for us. Long story short, eventually we got somebody to tell us that a third-party company was going to come and remove the asbestos for us because basically we had moaned so much because we just wanted a boiler. On top of all of this, we were trying to deal with EDF because they were claiming that we had tampered with the smart meters they had fitted because they weren't getting any gas readings. That's a whole new video. I will explain that. Just make sure you look out for the EDF video because that will be worth watching. That is one hell of a story. So make sure you go and click on that video. But let's carry on. Anyway, meanwhile, we're trying to sort out EDF. But we've finally got somebody round after ages and ages of asking. This guy came round, picked it up and said, I mean, this is what you're looking at. It's literally a couple of blocks about this big to get rid of. I mean, it might have even been about that size. Half the size of this whole thing that you hang on to dry your clothes. The asbestos was about that size, right? And he wanted £1,500 to pick it up and get rid of. Ridiculous, standard charge, but I think it doesn't matter whether you've got like a garage roof or whether you've got an asbestos block that's like this big, they're still going to ask you to pay £1,500. So I understand, I get it, but if we'd have known it was up there, we would have got rid of it ourselves. We were then starting to threaten that we could probably get rid of it ourselves, and they said, no, honestly, we're going to get a third-party company in. They have to do airflow tests, and we've got to get a certificate and all that nonsense to say that it's all good for these guys to come and fit the boiler. So all this time down the line, we managed to get rid of the asbestos, and then we waited another month on top of that. It was 5 months in total, I believe. Let me just make sure. March, April, May, June, July. Okay, so that was 4. August, it's coming up to August now, so it would be 5 months. It's been 4 months, okay? So it's been 4 solid months of waiting. Finally, today, on the 14th of July, we are finally getting our boiler fitted. Mental, crazy, can't believe it, but 4 months of waiting. We've been sitting waiting for this boiler. And finally it's being fitted today. They are coming back round tomorrow, which will be in the next clip. I just kind of wanted to explain the story. It's a little bit crappy that we've waited 4 months for a boiler to arrive. We had to move back out of this house to move back in with my parents very briefly because basically we didn't know whether the shower worked. We didn't know whether we had any hot water. We didn't really have any appliances. We still haven't got an oven. So we've been really struggling food-wise. Just general things. We didn't know if we had to turn off the cold water. I forgot to tell you that because they'd taken the tanks out and it had fallen. We had to have all the cold water out. So yeah, it's been a right pain in the bum. And British Gas haven't really been that cooperative, and we just want to communicate with them, and they weren't talking or giving us the answers. All we knew was we had to contact someone called Neil, and it was months. It was 4 months that we were just sitting waiting with nothing. Yeah, so we had to move back out and move back in with my parents just so I can have a shower, brush my teeth, drink water just from the tap, you know, just having a drink. Yeah, so that's the story anyway. I just wanted to give you the lowdown on that one. There is an EDF video coming. Please make sure you hit subscribe. But I will show you the end results tomorrow in the next clip, so stay tuned. I'm going to show you what it looks like once it's all in. All the tools have gone, carpet's back in place, and we will show you what the combi boiler looks like. See you in a second. It's a new dawn, it's a new day. It feels like a new life because the boxes have gone. Everything's gone, it's all clear because the boiler is in. I know I showed you everything earlier. I know I showed you the boiler that's upstairs, but what I didn't show you was the radiator is in position. Now, we have a little bit of a story to tell you. It's not massive, but a little story to tell you. That basically the radiator we had that was here in packaging was sat here 3.5 months, 4 months nearly, and basically the radiator is here with damage on it. You can see here with little chips. They're very small, and here as well I'll be showing you some overlays of what they look like, probably because that was the worst bit of camera work ever possible to man. But yeah, so that was actually sat here, and I don't know how it's got that damaged. It was massively packaged, as you guys would have seen. But let me take you upstairs. Oh, first of all, our little hive system. So currently the house is at 21 degrees. Can you see that? Yes, you can. 21 degrees, and it's all controlled by the app. So some people have little buttons that are on top where you boost the heating or you boost the water or however you want to do it. But obviously we've got a combi boiler, so you're not boosting anything. Well, you can, you do it, but you do it from the app. And I have shown you all of this before, but there she is in all of her glory. She's all there. I'm going to try and stand you on here. Can I do that? Ta-da! Right, so there we go. That is the combi boiler. So these bits down here, that is the the condensation tank that runs through and out the bath drain. And there's a couple of other things in here for like hard water. I can't remember what you called them, but basically when you turn the tap on and off, it gives quite a hard thump because there's quite a lot of pressure. That basically just softens the blow a little bit. We've got a carbon monoxide alarm thing there in case it all goes tits up. And then this here is your basically the brains of the operation of the hive system. And then obviously if this trips out, you have to sort all that out as well. So I'm not going to bore you with it all, but there it is, looking very tidy, looking fabulous. Obviously the walls and stuff in here do need a paint because it's still very dirty. But there we go. There we go. We have got some shelving, which I don't know if you guys saw. It was like a really horrible looking, what I can only describe as fence. I've definitely shown you this before, but I can only describe it as fence because that's basically what it looked like. It came out of that cupboard. And we're not going to put that back up because it looks absolutely vile. So that is going to the tip. But the only thing is that we then need to have shelves that go in there. Now the bits of wood that are in here, as you can see as well, are damaged and they look awful. It's obviously been snapped off here and I don't really understand what's going on in this cupboard. So it does look horrendous. It will need looking at. And also, obviously in here as well, this was where the old boiler was, with the shelving that was all in here as well. These have all got to come off because we've got rails. We got the rail bars in here. Yes, we have. There we go. No idea if you can see that. You probably can't. But there's rails in there. And basically it's going to be where we put all of our clothes, things like that. But obviously we've got that temporary one in there at the minute. All of this is going to get painted as well, all up the stairs because this all looks horrendous. All of this carpet is going to go eventually. We've got so many plans for this house, we really have, and it's going to look fabulous. But in here is the best space. Oh, let me show you in this little cupboard in here as well. There's probably not much to see. So the plan was to have pipes running under the carpet upstairs into the little boiler room, and the pipes were going to come past this bit of wall here, so straight through this bit of wall here and straight up through to the floor to the landing, which is why we took off these two cupboards. That was the original plan. Now the guys managed to get it in that little hole up there, so that's what they cut out, is that little hole up there to go through to the bottom of the stairs, and there's our gas meter there. So it's all looking very tidy, it's all looking very neat. This kitchen is going to get changed, by the way. It looks absolutely horrendous in here. We are going to change it. But yeah, that's basically all I wanted to show you. Is just that we've got a boiler now. The only thing, And it's not his fault. Jamie, if you're watching, hello, by the way. It's not your fault, lad. But this was supposed to come off the wall. This is the old thermostat. It's not connected at all. And it was actually in our notes to say it was going to go. But he was in a rush, and you know what? I let him off. I probably confused him a little bit by offering him a drink right at the very end. But yeah, not a problem. But the thermostat does have to go, so that I will have to get him back for that. But yeah, that's it. In a nutshell, we now have a boiler. We've got hot water, which is fantastic. We've not had hot water in so long. The shower, I will just quickly disclaimer, the shower is electrically powered, so that actually runs its own hot water. So it was being fed cold water and then it heats it up itself because it's all electric system, blah, 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 blah. And so the shower was always hot water, but the only thing we didn't have was hot water in the radiators. Obviously, half of them were empty because we had this radiator here and the one in the lounge were brand new radiators. Obviously, this one wasn't here, it wasn't connected, but the one in the lounge was connected but had no water in it because we had no boiler. So, everything now on the taps, all hot water works, so we can wash up the dishes if the dishwasher ever packs up. We can have washing up in here, and it's all fabulous. It's all good. Everything works. I'm happy. We've got our little smart meter, whatever this thing's called, digital display thing telling us we're using 7p of electrical energy at the minute. Just little things. It's all the little things. But we are well on the way to, I don't know, doing greatness in this house. If that's what you want to say. I'm really sorry. I'm rambling. I'm going to go now. I just thought I'd say hello, tell you that the boiler works. We've got working radiators now as well. I'll show you the Hive app as well to kind of give you an idea. Hang on a second. Hive app. And it's all controlled by this. So you can schedule controls. You can do it all manually. So today's Friday. And it's going to come on at 4:30 tonight until 10. I don't know how well you can see that. Or I can just manually turn the whole thing off. So then there'll be no schedule. Yeah, so there you go. That's basically how you do it. Jade is going to have the same system on her phone so that she can control it when I'm not here. Because obviously you can do it from this thing over here. You could just adjust it like that if you really wanted, so it will come on and off and whatever, but do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? It's just easier to do it from the app. Don't even need to get up from the sofa. I can just do it from my phone, go bish bash bosh, heating's on. So yeah, just wanted to say hello. Thank you so much for watching. We now have a boiler. Yeah! Love you all, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.